Sever your legs media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up. If you are here for the first time and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to this channel. And if you don't want to subscribe to the channel, but at least just hit the like button. So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna go back to we're at like about 50K to go, like 54 kilometers to go, and at about the 53 kilometer mark, Julian Alaphilippe sets everything off. So I'm gonna let it get going. And this is the men's race, the Amstel Go race, and Julian Alaphilippe is gonna set things off. So just before they got to this climb, the EF Education was just on the front hard, and they was really pulling hard, setting the tempo, trying to set their guys up, trying to get, somebody like Ben Healy away in the breakaway and give him a chance at winning the race like he did last year. But Julian Alaphilippe would have other plans. As you can see, UAE like at the front trying to do the thing, but Julian Alaphilippe puts in this monster attack. I mean, he's still got that power he's just a really good all-round rider, and he's still got that strength. He just doesn't have the endurance that he used to have. I mean, he's still strong as an ox. And basically, when he did that attack, he basically just destroyed everybody. And Tadej Pogačar was the only one able to respond to his move. And then they will quickly get a small gap, and then that small gap will grow. Now, if Julian Alaphilippe, this is where basically it broke down. If Julian Alaphilippe had been able to hold on to Tadej Pogačar, because on the next climb, we're going to get to the next climb, and Julian is basically going to give up the ghost on the next climb because it was just too much. So, and here you can see this is where Julian Alaphilippe is he's just dying. He's just dying 1,000 deaths by 1,000 paper cuts, and the group's going to come up. And this is where once Julian goes off, and then the group catches up to Julian, and it's almost like they're conceding that okay, Tadej's got this, and they're going to they're going to chase, but not really chase, and they're going to infight amongst each other. So it would take a whole lot longer to catch Tadej than they should be. But the thing is, do they actually get up and catch? So Matty, that was Matteo Scaramosa. He was putting in the attack, trying to get things started, and that early attack by Matteo is what actually helped break up all of this group that you see behind. So Matteo really started things off, and then it just gets going, and then you're losing riders one by one quickly, and that's just the way it went. So Tadej gets up to 30 seconds, and his biggest gap was like a 33, 34 seconds. He never got more than 34 seconds. So they kept him sort of in check for the entire time, and it was looking good. And I was like, okay, Tadej's got this, but as we're going to see, it was not meant to be. So before I play this, so we missed a little bit in between. So I wasn't able to get that, unfortunately. So we missed a little bit in between. So what happened is Matteo Scaramosa, he put in an attack, and because basically the group got down to about 10 guys, Wolf Bernard, Tom Picard, as you can see right here in the picture, Remco Evenepoel, Ben Healy, and a few other really, hard hitters or big hitters. And they just weren't making any ground. And then Matteo made this big attack. He went away, and then no one was closing the gap. And then Remco was trying to get them to do the work. So Remco sort of set off. And then Remco, he just rolled off the front. He really didn't even try. He just rolled off the front. It wasn't even an attack. And he rolled off the front, and he was able to catch up to Matteo Scaramosa. And once he called up to Matteo Scaramosa, Matteo in the end said that Remco did most of the work, and he has said to Remco, I'll work with you, just don't drop me on the climb. So Remco did that. I think had Remco dropped Matteo on the climbs, he would have had a better chance to win, but I think he wouldn't have outsprinted Pogačar. So, just fast forward to this part, and this is where we catch up. Well, just as Remco is catching Pogačar, and as you can see, as he catches Pogačar, Pogačar's looking back, and Remco just puts in a big dig, and he's just tries to up the tempo, and just tries to catch Pogačar off guard, and Remco's going full steam, and you see how hard Pogačar has to really ride to get back on. And I was still I had it, in the back of my head that Pogačar is probably still going to win this, and to me, you saw him do it at the Worlds, where he got onto the climb and he said he's back on that last climb in the Worlds, And then as he got to the top, like, because he just saved himself so he can have enough to get himself to the finish. So I don't even do a similar thing. And but today just like was a different Pogacar. I haven't seen this Pogacar that's suffering. So they're on Pogacar getting rid of Scamosa and everybody's getting rid of the bottles on the last climb. And this is the Coburg. This is the climb that you just done. And this is where I knew that Pogacar wasn't the Pogacar that normally just annihilates everybody. When Remco was on the front, now Remco is nowhere near the climber that Pogacar is. Pogacar was just done. Well, in the meantime, you have Ben Healy really trying to kick it over and really trying to get that, catch up or whatnot, but he just didn't have the work ethic of everyone else. So here is Remco. Pogacar is then just letting Remco set the tempo. And Pogacar is the type of rider, like, I just knew something was up when Pogacar didn't go from the bottom of the climb. Because when Pogacar is on fire, he attacks like early on these climbs because they're not long enough like a mountain climber. So he can just use that power. And when he didn't go, I'm looking at Project Pogacar now, he is not going. He is sitting there. He's done. He has nothing left in the tank. And the only thing he has left is to just ride with these guys to the finish. And he knows he has a big kick. He knows Remco has a big kick. And that's what he was relying on. But when he's not 100%, when he's depleted like he is, his kick is not the same. So even Matteo is coming around. It's like, we got to keep this going because they're going to get caught. So Matteo comes around. And I think this move right here is what allowed him to be able to get the win, because when he was still willing to put in the work and put in a turn, that like let Remco know, okay, I don't care if he's still here because he already said that he's not feeling that good. So our Remco's in his head. He's just happy for that Matteo is putting in the turn. But Pogacar was like, no. I'm not doing anything. So this is crazy because this is the same scenario that he had 2 days ago with Wout van Aert, where Wout van Aert just followed him for the last 2 kilometers. So we're gonna have to be calling Mr. Remco, Mr. 2K, that guy that just does all the work for 2 kilometers to go because nobody wants to work with him. So we see Matteo going in the front again, and here we see Wout bridging up to Ben Healy, and these guys, and Walt is it's a bit too late, but he's coming into form. Like he seems to just go strong enough to finish up in the top 10, and that says a lot. I mean, you can see he's been pretty consistent. I mean, he hasn't finished less than 5th place in his last few races, so that's pretty good for Walt van Aert. So we're back to the front with Remco. Matteo sort of like he's going to come to the front. Everyone's looking back, making sure that they're not going to get caught. And it's just Pogacar's like, I'm not coming around. I'm not taking a lead. And in a sense, I can understand Pogacar not coming around because he's been out there all day, hasn't he? He's been out there, I won't say all day, for the last 50K. And it was a fast race. It wasn't the usual race where they build up and then they get fast. It was a fast race from the get-go. It was a lot of climbing. And this was a lot harder than I guess the normal for Pogacar. But at the same time, Pogacar has done a lot. He's done a lot of races. He's just done Roubaix. And in my opinion, after seeing him after today, if I was his DS, I'd be like, you're not racing Flesh alone, and you're possibly not even racing the age. So it'll be a question of whether to let him just sit out for Flesh alone and then the age, because Flesh alone is a super hard race. It's got like a lot of these small climbs that are super, super hard, especially the Mur. The Mur is man, it's unforgiving, but he was trying to go for the triple. And as personally, I would say, like, for Pogacar, you got a long season come up because I think it's going to, leave him flat when it comes to the Tour. So we see Remco leads out the sprint. And I thought, like, okay, it looked like Pogacar wasn't able to come around, and it looked like Remco had it. And you can really see Pogacar coming around. Pogacar, he sits down, he should have stayed up. But Matteo Scamosa, he just keeps pushing through, and he just cannot believe what happened. Pogacar knows that he's got it. He congratulates him right away, and it was like just unflipping unbelievable finish. So I'm pretty sure like Remco was like, what happened to Pogacar didn't see that coming. Remco didn't, and I bet Matteo didn't even see that coming. So, but it came down to the sprint. So, like, well, he outsprinted Michael Matthews, and Michael Matthews is a known sprinter. So, Walt has got a little something, but it's going well because that means he's tuning up for the Giro d'Italia. Nice. I don't know if he'll win the Giro d'Italia, but I know he's going to have a good chance of winning that green jersey and winning a few stages. So here's a look at the uh the photo finish, the final finish, and as you can see, Matteo Scalmoza just edges out Pogacar by ever the slightest margin, and then Remco finishes in third. And this is where they found out that he had won, and this is going to be Pogacar's faces when he found out, like, because he knew Pogacar knew he had lost, but just waiting for the confirmation, and then you see like a look on Pogacar's face that you don't normally see. That was a tough day. He raced his heart out, and it's sort of hard to see, like, because that's my guy Pogacar.
Sever your legs, media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel.
Anyway, let's get into this ladies' race. We're going to join the race with 17.9 kilometers to go. Park Peterson had just gone on the attack, and the ladies are just going to get it going. So I was actually, Park Peterson is probably one of my favorite riders in the peloton because she's so animated and she's always so full of excitement. But anyway, this is interesting. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps. I really appreciate you tuning in. Today was a lot. I I was like physically, I felt every second of that men's race. And even in the ladies' race, it was just total excitement. So let's get it started. Let's get into this. Let's see what's going on. And hopefully I get no audio coming from this. But anyway, so we have Park Peterson, Ellen Van, and Park Peterson from, is it the Koenig? She's about to attack. She goes up the front. And on her wheel, you're going to have Mischa Bradwood. I think it's Bradwood, and she's from ST Works. And then Juliet Lebos from Groupama, and Silva Persico. So what's going to happen is Park Peterson and Julia Lebos is going to put in such an effort that they actually pull away from the other three riders. But then one of the riders manages to come across. I believe that Silvia Persico manages to come across. Meanwhile, David, Lorena Reyes, she wasn't able to make the move. It's a bit too much climbing for her. So you see Jumbo Visma on the front trying to bring it back, but it was going. And then you even had like people like Allison. She came to the front to try to attack, to try to bridge the gap. But this right here was a really key moment in the race. What happened was you see from the young lady from we're going to show you again, Ellen Van Dyke. She attacks like because she's strong on the flats, but she's not as strong on the climb. So she figures, I gotta go now. I gotta go now. So she does go, and the only person that was able to respond was Mischa Bradwood. And when she did go, Park Peterson and then couldn't close the gap. So they got to the last climb, which is the Coburg, the Coburg, sorry, the Coburg, and basically Ellen is basically doing her everything to try to, she knows she's got to keep it going because they're coming behind. But at the same time, Mischa said, like, in her interview after, this was the moment she had to give it a try. She said she was scared. She was afraid she was going to try and blow up. But it's like you only get one shot at, one shot. You only get one shot. Eminem song, you only get one, two, whatever. But this was her moment, and she took it. You got to seize the moment. As Eminem said, she seized the moment. So once she did go on the climb, then the other three riders caught up to Ellen and Van Dyke, as you're going to see by the time they get to the end of the climb. But it was too late. Mischa had flown the coop, and it was just a totally, you didn't see it coming. And the other thing was that Mischa, she had a card to play. She played an advantage, if you didn't see, which I didn't show you, which is when they were away, she was sitting on the back end and like she was not doing as much work, like saying that she can't do any work because, she got her sprinter trying to come across. So like it's like these unspoken rules inside of the peloton. So with that, she got to save just enough to basically get these girls on the climb. So 1.9 kilometers to go. She's, everybody's digging in. It's all or nothing. And Park Peterson, I was really, really on Park because I want to see her win. And basically, she's just such a cool person, she's so animated. And you'll see the ladies at the end as well when they do get on the podium. They don't play. They they get on the podium and they just down the grid. But anyway, so Mischa's going. Park is closing the gap to Ellen Van Dyke, and I believe is it who is that? From Group Palmer. That is Juliette LeBeaus. But they would all four of them would all come together because they are doing the everything. And this is the crazy thing. This is Mischa's. This is where she lives. She's from the Netherlands, and for as a young girl growing up in the Netherlands, this was like the race she saw all the time. She got to see, the really popular, famous riders winning, and now she's actually off the front with about, I don't know, looks like 100 meters, 50 meters, maybe 50 meters, with a chance at winning the race. And she had 1.5 kilometers to go. She was not quite at the top of the climb. But the crazy thing was, when I was there last year, I didn't realize that they were coming up to the finish line. I thought they came down the hill, but they come up to the finish line. And this is the spot where last year where they had to neutralize the race, and they all was sitting down waiting for the race to happen because there was an emergency on the road, like there's some type of accident. No, I think it was protesters or something. Yeah, it was protesters or something like that last year, and they stopped the race until they got them all cleared the way. Some people cemented themselves to the road. I get it. I don't even remember what they were protesting about. But so anyway, Mischa's got like 1 kilometer to go. She's got 1 kilometer to go, mouth wide open, taking in as much oxygen as you can. She's giving it everything. Park Peterson, you can see Park Peterson wants to give it a go, but there is nothing left in the tank. And all she can do is just work with the others the best she can to hopefully now just get on the podium. But there is still time to try to catch back. And right there, I thought Ellen Van Dyke was going to put in a big tackle. This is her lane. This is her like terrain, like this flat, fast, and she's a big engine. And I was like, okay, she's gonna hit it now. What she wasn't, I guess she didn't have enough left, so she just decided, okay, we're sprinting for the podium. But in that moment, while they decided to go to sprint for the podium, it allows Sylvia Persico to catch up and then get involved in the sprint. So as you can see, we're coming down to the sprint for the ladies. But in the meantime, Mischa Redwood is going to go to the finish. It's 300 kilometers to go. She starts to look back, and then she started to realize, okay, I've got this, I'm going to win this. And then, as it all kicks in, and she realizes, hey, I'm going to win. And it's about 100 kilometers to go, 100 meters to go. And then you can see this is where she starts to realize, I have got this. She shakes her head. She sits up, puts her arms out wide, and she's just like, hello to everyone who lives in this area. You all know me, and it's so great. A hometown girl wins. And then in second place, you get Ellen Van Dyke, and then Park Peterson gets third. And then there's Lorena Wiebes, the sprint of the team, coming in to congratulate Mischa for the win. That was like a pretty awesome to see. And the ladies, so cool. The ladies don't play. Ready? There you go. Cheers. You don't forget the cheers. There you go. 1, 2, 3. And who's going to win this one? Park Peterson. Park Peterson is going to win this fight.
Seven Year Legs Media, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up.